Uh, Hello. I hope y'all can hear me. Sorry. I got a few minutes before I go into work and whatnot, but I was reading this morning and I just wanted to give everybody some encouragement today. First off, Happy New Year's. Happy 2026. I pray that everybody's 2026 is starting off good. And if it's not, it's going to get better. Also praying that everybody, makes those goals and they actually hit them, because a lot of the times we say we're going to do things and then we don't do them. I fall victim to it a lot. So I'm just praying that everybody can get those goals. But I was in Galatians 5 because someone just told me to get in Galatians 5 this morning. I love Galatians 5 because I love the message behind it. I love how Paul talks about denying the flesh and crucifying the flesh and just, standing in the freedom of Christ. And so before I just, go into work, I wanted to, get this word out for encouragement because I know a lot of us are starting the 21 days of fasting and prayer. So I plan to kind of, digest Galatians 5 through this whole time. I just, pray to encourage others who are also going through the same exact thing because this is going to be challenging and tough. So, I want to start with verse 1. It says, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty and be not entangled. Oh, wait. I skipped the line there. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free. So I'll stop right there and go ahead and talk about it. It says stand fast. So essentially what stand fast is doing is just be like, hey, stand right there. Don't move. Don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Just wait. It says stand fast, therefore, in the liberty, which means a freedom wherewith Christ hath made us free. Christ has made us free, therefore we must stand in that freedom and soak in all of that freedom. It's very important not to, get away from the freedom that we have. So there's two different types of freedom. There's the freedom of that Christ is giving you, and then there's the freedom of the world. There's, a freedom to go out, to drink and do drugs and do whatever you want. You have that freedom. You have that choice that God is giving you. But when you really look at it, God gave you the freedom to choose that. When you do it, it's really not freedom. It's bondage. It's slavery. We're going to get into that right here with the second part of verse 1. It says, and be not entangled. So don't be in the mix of, don't be, caught with, don't be in relation with. It says, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. So I want to paint this picture of what yoke is and what it means. So back in the old, many eons ago, they would get two bulls and they would put essentially a chain around each neck, tying them together so that, like horses, when you get like two horses side by side on a carriage, that's kind of what it was. That's what a yoke was. So it was that bulls or any animal strong could carry a load. So the yoke of bondage, let's talk about the yoke of bondage, right? So if I'm in a yoke, right, and, I'm pulling the load and there's just something right there next to me, I would want that thing to be pulling the load with me. So some of us are in bondage and we have a yoke attached to us, right? So we have essentially dead weight holding us back and chains holding us back because we're in bondage. We're in slavery. So like I said, God is giving you that free choice to go out in the world and do as you please. Go and drink, go and smoke. But you know what I'm saying? That's really not freedom. God is, that's not freedom at all. So choosing between the freedom of God, the freedom that Christ has given you, and the freedom, quote unquote, of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what Paul is talking about in Galatians 5. It says, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Verse 2 says, behold, I, Paul, say unto you that if ye be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. Verse 3, for I testify again to every man that is circumcised that he is a debtor to do the whole law. Verse 4, Christ is become of no effect unto you, whosoever of you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace. So we have to understand that there are people who believe in this thing of we have to keep the whole law and nothing but the law. But when we make the law our God, when we make all of these other things are God, we fall from grace. So it's not that God does not honor us for following his law. It's that the law is fulfilled by Jesus Christ. And you think that the law is going to save you, so you've fallen from grace. See, nothing can separate us from the grace of God but us. The grace of God and the grace of Christ is given to us as a free gift, and we are the ones who reject it. God is never going to take his grace away from anybody. We have to understand that. So when we look at this, right, we got to stop. And this goes for all the people, you know what I'm saying? And Paul says it later. It says, for in Jesus Christ, neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith which worketh by love. So that means it doesn't matter, you're Jew, Gentile, you know, all this other stuff that we used to argue about doesn't matter about that. Do you believe in Christ? Are you saved by the blood? Do you believe in the cross? And are you dying to your flesh daily? It doesn't matter what you believe. You know what I'm saying? If the word is not what you believe, then you are in error. We have to understand that this is our guide and this is our model. You know, I have nothing against denominations. I choose not to be a part of it because I choose just to follow the Bible. And then I believe that we should all follow this word. We should all surrender to Christ. You know, denominations and all of that shouldn't be your identity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can have a preference. It's okay to have a preference, but that should not be your identity, and that should not be your faith. Your faith should be in the one and only, the way, the truth, and the life. John 14:6. The way, the truth, and the life. Jesus Christ, the one who died on the cross for our blood. Shed his blood for us on the cross. That should be the only one we should give all of our trust to. That should be the only one that we place in the highest of the highs in our life. No relationship. And I want to go back to where Paul talks about the yoke of bondage, right? So the yoke of bondage doesn't just look like sin. It can look like bad friends. It can look like that bad relationship. It can look like things that keep you from Christ. If you're in idolatry and idolizing something, that could be the yoke too. See, it's not always about I'm stuck in this one sin. It's about there's things that are holding me back from God and from my purpose and my calling. Sometimes that job could be the yoke of bondage that you are in. So we have to understand, right? We have to understand, right? Verse 1, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. This word, I pray that this word encourage some of you guys today. I can turn the light off because the light is coming out outside. The sun is coming up. But I pray that this word encourages people just all 2026 to stand in the liberty and freedom of Christ. See, if I'm in bondage, right, and I want to be liberated, and say I'm in a village, right, and I'm waiting for liberators to come and set us free. If I go away from the village, there, you know what, that analogy probably wouldn't work, because how would I go away from somewhere I'm not a slave to? My bad. I'm trying to... Sometimes we don't get it. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we, fall short. But I just want to say, like I said, therefore, stand fast. Okay, I can make this analogy. Like, say that if the liberators were to come and set us free, right? Set us free from anything type of slavery or anything, right? If Christ sets you free from sin, if Christ sets you free from your old lifestyle, why would you go back? Why would you not want to stay in the presence of the one who has set you free? That's a greater analogy than the one I was about to give. Why would we leave and go back to the old life? Just like the Israelites when they left Egypt. When God prepared a way for them through Moses to go out of Egypt, they wanted to go back because it felt comfortable to them, because it was what they knew. And we have to understand, if we are to stand fast, therefore, in the liberty, the freedom of Christ, we have to stand in it, and we cannot leave that, which means we cannot leave his presence. We cannot leave his freedom. We cannot leave his grace. We cannot leave his mercy. We must continue to be in it. And that right there is all I have to say for today, guys. Man, I encourage everybody to go read Galatians 5 and really dig in to what Paul is trying to say. Dig into Galatians 5 this first month. Just however long you feel the Lord is leading you to dig into Galatians 5, go and dig into it. I encourage you, because this is a transforming, this word will transform you. Transform you. But that's about all I have for today. I hope everybody has a good day, and I hope that everybody can just stay in his presence. I just encourage everyone, stay in his presence. Because just because it's a new year, you had a good Christmas, you had a good New Year's, you had a good break and holiday, things may seem like they're turning around for the better. Spiritual warfare creeps up on us like a roaring lion. And I'm telling you, the devil is hard at work every single day. So just continue to be in his presence, continue to seek his face, and continue to seek the kingdom. That's all I have for you, brothers and sisters in Christ. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.